Here we are in this week's assignments module, and this is due Sunday, February 14th. The reading for this week is from the textbook, and you'll be reading Chapter 2, Art Nouveau, A New Style for a New Culture. The years just before and after the 20th century were a time of experimentation and daring which expanded the limits of all the arts. The anticipation of the new century brought with it a spirit of revolution and social change in which the arts were the vanguard. Art Nouveau's flowing lines, foliate forms, and sensuous shapes were evident in the typeface, page layouts, and poster designs of the period, and was strongly influenced by Japanese prints as well as the paintings of Gauguin and Munch. The style swept through Europe, producing various unique incarnations in France, Austria, Great Britain, and Italy. And here you can see some examples of those differences, some French posters, German and Italian Art Nouveau posters. Have a look at this week's lectures. The Begerstaffs were brothers-in-law who had a brief but very important career, and they developed a new technique that we have now come to call collage. And their style was very avant-garde and very modern for the time. Have a look at images of women in French posters of the 1890s. Women became the major subject matter for posters which were created in France in the 1880s and 1890s at the height of the international poster movement. And women assumed a great variety of roles in French poster art. Also, have a look at color and design. The role of color in visual communication is the most complex, powerful, and technical of all the elements of design. This week, you'll work on another bibliography and design in context assignment. You'll select a work of graphic design from the time period covered in this week's reading, which is Chapter 2, the Art Nouveau, but which is not illustrated in the textbook. It can be another image or work of graphic design by a designer who is mentioned in the textbook, but it must not be a photograph from the textbook. Again, you'll create a bibliography. You'll work on the creative brief, including an identification of the designer with a brief biographical background. You'll describe the message of the piece and how it is conveyed. And you'll describe the stylistic characteristics of your example that are similar to other design examples from this period. Also, you may want to talk about some influences, stylistic influences on your example of graphic design, and then find at least 2 historical connections which examine the work within the context of its time. And then you'll post your bibliography and your image to the discussion board. And then you'll also want to respond to at least 2 of your colleagues' posts. And you'll submit your assignment by clicking this link, which will take you into the discussion board. Click in the reply field, and you can post your assignment in any format you choose. You may also want to look at the grading criteria. You can earn extra credit if you put some extra work into your assignment. This week, you'll continue to work on the conceptual phase of your museum exhibition project. This phase is due February 21st. And you're working on the exhibition topic and overview. So continue thinking about your topic and what you'd like to do with it. And your concept should include these considerations. And then also be sure to have a look at the examples of museum exhibition overviews that I've provided. They're brief, but they clearly define the exhibition content and its goals. This week's bibliography contains links to various topics that are covered in this week's reading. So those are this week's assignments. You'll continue to work on the conceptual phase of your museum exhibition project, which is due February 21st. You'll work on your bibliography and design and context for this week. Have a look at the lectures and read Chapter 2 in the textbook on Art Nouveau. So that's this week's assignments. If you have any questions, be sure to email me. Otherwise, enjoy learning all about Art Nouveau.